Hey, everybody. Good evening. It's Tanya here. I am Tanya Smith, in case you're new to the show. I am with Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV. And this is our weekly live stream where we work with women coaches, course creators, and consultants to help you to use live streaming in particular, but definitely on camera video so that you can serve more people, sell more of your services, and stand out online. So I'm kind of thrilled because I get to do something that is one of my favorite things to do. For those of you who have been a part of my community for some time, you know what to do. Go ahead and type into the chat hashtag OG. If you're new and this is your first time ever watching us on whatever platform you've chosen, type in hashtag newbie so that I can acknowledge you because I am here with you live. And one of my favorite things that I love to do, which my folks over in the Stream Like a Boss and Stream Bosses Academy communities, what they know is that I love talking about gadgets and apps. Like it's one of my favorite things. So we're going to talk a little bit about one called Topic Mojo tonight. And first, I want to definitely acknowledge and say hello to those of you who are here. So if you're here with me live, go ahead and type something into the chat. Let me know where you're hailing from. Where are you from? I'm in the Dallas, Texas area. And today happens to be a little bit, I don't know, it's kind of like a mixture of cool and warm. It's a weird kind of weather temperature today. But I hope that you're doing well wherever you are, that you're safe and sound and that you feel good. What we're going to do is we'll dive into a couple of things. So let me explain how this is going to work. When I do these demos, it's not as formal, meaning I don't have as many message points, but I do want to offer you some specific tips about why I even brought this particular app to the table. There's a couple of reasons. First of all, if you're wondering what Topic Mojo is, if you are someone who falls into one of the categories I just mentioned, so you're a coach, you're a course creator, you're a consultant, and you're doing business online, one of the things that I often hear from my clients and from anyone who's in my audience is, I don't know what to say. I'm running out of ideas. I need places to go to find content. And not only that, it's not just find content or talk about something. It is talk about topics that are really relevant to the people that you want to communicate with. So your audience, typically you're going to have, and you should have, an intended audience. It's a group of people, a specific niche and crowd of people who you love to talk to, who you would love to work with if they chose to work with you. If they become your clients, you're going to be just all in, right? So you want to be thinking about your viewers and the people that are watching your videos as potential clients, people that could potentially be investing in more of an expanded experience with you beyond the screen. And if that's the case, the reason why they watch and the reason why they come back, just like those who are a part of my community, is that they believe that what you're going to talk about is something that's relevant to them. It means something. It's offering them a solution to a pain point, to something that they're feeling or going through or that they need, right? You want to be able to relate. So the reason why this Topic Mojo thing is so timely and the reason why I'm bringing it up is not only because of the fact that it addresses some of that problem, and it does so in a really user-friendly, plain English way. They also have other languages too, in case you're curious. But there's also a deal going on. So I'll make sure to give you that link here shortly. I'll do so because I don't want you to miss out. And I'm all about the deals. Again, as folks in my community know, if you know this about me, I want you to either do a thumbs up for me or a high five in the comments. Okay, so here's the thing. One of the things that I noticed, I've used Topic Mojo before, and I am going to pull it up on screen and do a demo for you here shortly. But one of the things that I noticed about this particular app is how simple it is to use. I've used a ton of different types of apps around the internet, and really I'm always trying to find something that's going to be fairly easy to learn, easy to use, and easy to teach. And if it ain't easy, I'm probably not going to invest time in it or energy into it because it's not something that I feel like I want to pass on to my audience members. Our whole goal is to try to simplify streaming. I see one of my OGs in the house, Miss Marcia Baker. Wonderful to see you, lady. So one of the things that I want to do whenever I'm choosing these apps and these tools to share with you is I need it to be something that you're going to also agree with me and say, yeah, I can see myself using this, right? So there are a lot of complex search engine optimization tools and all those things out there. And frankly, I am not one of those experts. I'm not a guru in that space. What I am an expert in, though, and becoming more robust um, and educated in this space is an expert in communicating the language and the terminology that the people I like to work with speak. What I mean by that is I am relying more and more on the crowd, on the people that are in my community, that are in my circle of influence to tell me, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is where my questions are. And I feel like tools such as Topic Mojo will help you to find just that. You can start there instead of going with all these numbers that may or may not be relevant for you. First, find out what it is people want to know from you and then give that to them. So that's really, to me, part of the goal and the essence of this Topic Mojo app and the reason why I wanted to make sure to point it out to you. And here, I'll go ahead and pop in, because a couple of people have already asked, I'll pop in the link so that you can see it. I'll scroll it at the bottom and then I'll move it out of the way when we do the demo in a minute. But I'm going to do this demo and I will do something. We'll do something a little random. I'll ask one of you in the crowd, because I see several people that are on. I'll ask you to give me a search term that we can use, that we can work with. But I also have one ready to go because I want to show you the power, the potential power for this app. Now, what I like also about this, I'm going to take that banner off because here's something else I want you to know about Topic Mojo. There is a free version that works really well. So just because I'm sharing with you the LTD or lifetime deal doesn't mean you need to go out and run and buy it right now. What I would encourage you to do is to check out the free version first and see if it's something that you feel like you will use for your business. Real talk. Because if you're anything like me, you might have been gathering apps and tools for decades and you're not using them all. Good evening to you as well, Teresa Horn, Sisterhood of Strong Coach. We just did an interview together and I just so enjoyed being able to talk with you and to share you with all of our community and all our different spaces. It's wonderful to see you here. Okay, so let's talk about Topic Mojo, and I want to give you a couple of really quick hitter things about it. First, I want to get to the home page because right now I have a different page up, but I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is pretty cool. Let's show you. So Topic Mojo is this little app right here. And when you first go into it, it's going to have several different options that you can use. One is called a topic model. One is called a questions finder, and then there's search listening. Now, I did not invest in the subscription fee for the search listening because I don't know for sure that I need it or want it yet. I was definitely interested in the topic model, which I'll show you why in just a second, and the questions finder as well. Here's why. There's something that you may have used in the past, and I want to speak to this really quickly so that you know when I'm doing comparisons. It's called Answer the Public. I've been teaching content marketing for a long time, for a very long time, for several years, right? Actually, for over a decade now. And one of the common tools that I have talked to my clients about to go and find what type of questions are people asking, what are some of the things that are top of mind for people in your niche. I've often referred them to a site called answerthepublic.com. Now, answerthepublic.com, you don't want to buy the subscription because I think it's fairly pricey. I didn't want to buy the subscription. I'll say that. Maybe it'll be good for you. But it did offer some limited, but some ideas around questions that people might ask in different phrases and keywords and things that they may use. But it is fairly limited. It doesn't have a whole lot of data in it. It has sort of something that looks like a tree, which I'll show you the similar model here inside of Topic Mojo. That's one space I've sent people to. I've also sent many of my clients to a place called Quora.com, Quora. Now, this is what's interesting about Topic Mojo is that it actually combines some of the data sources. So the places where you go to actually put in keywords and find information, it combines that into one place. And this is especially important is it's pulling Google search information all into one place. So I am absolutely loving that I can go to a centralized place to look for searches and all of those other things. You are too funny. First of all, let me say hi to Tisha Lee. And then I got to pop this note up. My budget appreciates you. Yes, you know I'm going to be real, right? So I'm going to share with you the fact that they do have this lifetime deal. But I also just want to reiterate there's a lot that you can do with the free version. Now, because I no longer have the free version, what you're going to see from my end is going to look a little different. Okay. But I encourage you first, before you even put $1 into this, to test it out for yourself and see if it's something you might be wanting to use. I'm going to be using it because every time I sit down and I start mapping out content for various videos, here's what the mistake has been. Before I do this demo, I just have to break this down because I got to give you the strategy behind it first. But one of the things that I run into, one of the mistakes that I've made over time is to constantly think about what I think people should want to know. And that's not how this works out here in these internet streets. What we should be doing is we should be finding out what our audience wants to know. Once we've built that trust with them, that we're going to be able to give them what they want, then we can teach them and show them what they need, right, in a paid capacity. But we have to, first of all, make that connection and make that easy bridge for folks to come over and feel like you're the right person to work for them. That's, again, why these type of content tools are going to be absolutely helpful and useful to you. So let's do the actual topic model deal. So first of all, you're going to see that when you sign into Topic Mojo, there's some guides here. I found a few of them helpful, and I'm going to be really honest with you and give you my real thoughts, okay? Because I literally just picked this up this week. Only for a couple of days have I had the actual paid version, but I have been using sporadically the free version, okay? But I will walk you through each of these topics, and then you can actually see additional information on their homepage on your own. Let me go ahead and pop up that slide, or not slide, but the ticker again, so that you see where to go. Because right now, I do have an affiliate link since I believe that this is going to be a useful product. And frankly, I don't do these type of recommendation videos unless I think that it could be a good deal. So right now, if you go to tanya.click/topic mojo, you're going to find that they have a deal for $59 for one code. Now, if you're familiar with AppSumo, it's similar to that, but it's not on AppSumo. This is something they're doing internally, it looks like. So it's on their own. If you go to that page, you'll see that they have stackable points or credits that you can buy. I bought the $59 deal, and I think it's going to be sufficient for me for one person business. Now, if you have a team, or if you're doing a lot more content and creating a lot more content in search, and you're doing content for other businesses, for instance, and clients, then you may want to get more stacked. And they have a comparison chart that you'll be able to see. But let's walk through what I have purchased and what I have, okay? So first of all, this topic model, when you go in here, the gist of this topic model is to get what they call the user intent. By that, that means what is the intent of the search that your audience member is doing? So if you're, for instance, let's say that you're someone who is a coach who is going to be working with people to help them to start their own business. So one of the queries that you might type in, and I've already typed this in for us to get us started, is you may type in starting a business so that you can see, okay, well, what kind of information do I need to know about starting a business? What are people asking about? What are people searching for? What are some trending things that I need to know, trending information around this phrase or this keyword set? Okay, so I've typed in starting a business, and there were about 1,025 results that popped up for this keyword. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to show you and take a look at all the data that we'll find in here so that you can kind of get an example of what you're going to get. So if I type that in, now I will tell you the reason why I went ahead and typed it in advance is because it does seem to take a little time. So I'm going to give you that warning. It took a little time to pop up. Now, because I've already preloaded, you're not going to have to sit here and wait with me and do a little dance and cheer, right? It popped right up. Okay, so I've typed in starting a business because I'm a coach that's going to help other people to start a business. Now what I'm able to see here on the left are queries. Now I will tell you, and I said this earlier, that this particular tool is pulling from a lot of different Google spaces. It's pulling from Google AdWords, it's pulling from Google search, it's pulling from the top YouTube videos, which you'll see in a second. And it's pulling them all into this one space. So you'll notice here that it showed me how many queries were found, and it showed me different phrases that are using the words starting a business, okay? Also, you'll notice right here, it's given me several different search engine result pages. Now, the reason why this is relevant, if you see some of the titles, 10 steps to start your business, how to start a business step by step. There are other titles that I'll pull up in just a second to show you. But if you start thinking about this and you're applying this to video, I want you to really think about this from that standpoint, because that's what I'm talking about is video strategy. Yes, I know, Tish. It shows keywords data. Yes, that is really one of the number one reasons or benefits that I see here. And I'll show you some more things, but I'll also tell you some of the things that I think are disadvantages or cons so far. Okay, but first, the good stuff. So it also has trending information. It's pulling in search volume. The reason why it's giving me these two squares right here, and it's going to give me a little bit more information, is because I did purchase the SEO add-on. There is an SEO add-on, search engine optimization add-on, that is $15 a month. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'll be honest with you. That's one of the things that I'll talk about as and not so robust information for me just yet, because I think I can find more data on the search engine optimization piece in some of the other tools that I use. But here's why I do like this. I like it for this space here. I like it for being able to pull in YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. It's pulling articles and pulling things that have the starting a business phrase from all of these different spaces into one space. So then it's immediately giving me nuggets and ideas for possible topics that I can talk about. How cool is that? So from Reddit, Tumblr, TikTok even, check this out, y'all. I mean, this is good information for you to begin to say, okay, if this is what people are searching for, if this is what my potential clients and audience members want to know about, how can I create videos that have similar titles and descriptions so that I can draw their attention to me, right? Okay, so let's go into queries, and I'm going to show you this space, which then goes further into the trends. So it looks like here, the trends have gone down somewhat, but it's been up and down over the last, I don't even know how long that is. Is that May 4th of last year? I have to get more information to find out. I think it is for the last year of data. That's what I read in their information. So the last year of data is what this is pulling, which is typically going to be what Google search is going to pull up anyway. Other thing, noticed here up here at the top in this banner, the same information that you saw at the bottom of the page that we had previously, that's here too. But there's a little bit more. There's Shopify. Check that out. eBay, Medium. So it's giving you potential results that relate to the phrase that you typed in from all of these different sources. So watch this. See this whole list right here? I can look through the whole list of 78 phrases that they were able to find. I can see which ones are similar. So starting a business Canada, apparently that's a highly searched phrase. Search value, it's giving it an assignment of search value. Look, starting a candle business apparently seems to be a hot topic. It also looks at sentiment, meaning is it a positive or is it a negative sentiment? What kind of emotion is it evoking by using certain phrases? It's talking about that. Here's the other thing I wanted to show you that's similar to Answer the Public. So remember I talked about the whole tree thing? This part is probably my favorite part of the whole entire app. Right here, when you type your phrase in and you go into queries, what you'll find then is this tree that has phrases that give you even more ideas about the way you can word your different topics. So check this out: starting a business without a degree, starting a business without money, starting a business without an idea. Look, never start a business with no money. It's giving you ideas that you can then take similarly to Answer the Public, but it's pulling it all together in this one space along with other views that you can look at. So check this out. It's in list form here. So you also have options, I believe, the higher you stack your codes that you purchase for getting personalized branded reports. I didn't need all that. I just need this information to help me to actually create the video content and to create these titles that I want to come up with that I want other people to search for. If they're already looking for information or for specific phrases, then I want to mirror that so they find me too, right? So that's the point of using a tool like this. So look at all of these different things. Then it even has questions. Why is starting a business hard? What is starting a business from scratch? What are the top 10 businesses to start? Might be a good one that I would probably pull from, because you really need to come up with multiple titles as you're creating your different videos. You need to brainstorm multiple titles and then find the one that really resonates with you and could potentially resonate with the audience that's searching for you so they find you. So do you see how this is a little bit more plain English and easy for you to use versus some of the more complex SEO systems that we may need a degree or certification to understand? I'm going to speak for me. I won't speak for you. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I love this. Let me show you something else too. In addition to these lists, let me go back to the home page. We can also find, and I need to find it, I just need to dig for it a little bit, but there's also a space where we'll see the actual YouTube videos that are the most popular. Let me see if it's inside one of these. Oh, and there's a little bit more search engine optimization information. So it's giving you difficulty for AdWords. It's telling you the search value, like how often are people searching for these different terms and phrases, right? And even the ad cost. So there's a lot of information that's deep inside each of these phrases. So you still get kind of a little bit of a combo of that search engine optimization, but still with the plain old simplified, easy to learn stuff. Oh, this is one thing I wanted to show you. So questions. If you end up going to the questions tab, one of the things that this is good for is as a starter phrase. So I'm going to type in, what are the top 10 businesses to start? I'm going to try this one. Actually, I'm going to try something else. I think I have one already built in here. When you go to the questions tab, let's pop that in and see what happens. So what are the top 10 businesses to start? It's going to give us a different type of report here under the questions tab. And while that's running, I'll go ahead and pull up one that I have. So I have one, since we're talking about business, we'll stick with this topic, how to start. We're just going to do how to start a coaching business. Okay. I pulled this up a couple of hours ago. So when you open up the questions tab, there is additional information that you're going to get specific to the question that you asked. So again, it's going to give you the Google information, search volume, where are they finding this question the most? Quora, one of the sites that I told you I already recommend people to go to, right? So it's pulling all that information in here. These are awesome Okay, let me just give you kind of a really quick hitter way that you might use this. So let's say that you came up with your question and you plugged it in here, and then you wanted to create different topics for your videos, or you wanted to create a series. You got a series right here. Like, you can literally go through this whole list of questions and then create one video to answer each of these questions. And you have a series of 10, 20, however many. If you're just doing a series of 3 in preparation for a launch, then you've got 3 videos because you're answering the questions based on your area of expertise and what people are asking. Do you see how this can work? Reddit also has, it looks like, some questions. I love going to Reddit to try to mine for questions that people are asking. And then there's Quora that has the most questions. How do I grow my coaching business using Instagram? Great one to answer on video if that's something that's in your niche. I know, Tish, this is so awesome, isn't it? Because it's giving you easier ways for you to come up with content. And that is ultimately the goal. We want it to be more simplified so that we don't back out and say, oh, the reason why I'm not doing live streaming or I'm not doing videos is because I don't know what to say. Now you won't run out of things to say. I love that. Here's something else that I'll show you real quick before I move into one other space in here. Trending. Now, you can choose different countries. I'm going to leave it on the United States, but here's something that I also found intriguing. This is pulling from Google Trends, right? But again, it's in one space where you can export a report and you can clearly just have everything in this one, right? This one app. This is showing that there's a lot of searches for the movie Morbius, which just came out. I saw earlier that there were a lot of searches that were coming up for aphasia. People were trying to find out what Bruce Willis's affliction is, and they wanted to understand it. But look, there are a number of different phrases that are being pulled in based on conversations that are taking place on Twitter and other spaces within the Google environment. So you can even use this trends page to create content around a trending topic so that you have more of a chance to get noticed. Do y'all see where I'm going with this? So again, you have an opportunity to try out the Topic Mojo app for free because they do have a free version. By no means do you need to go out and purchase it unless you really are falling in love with it and you feel like you're going to be using it regularly. And if you want some of the other features that you won't get with the free, such as the search engine optimization, I did go ahead and purchase that. But if you want to get it for a lifetime deal for $59 and have access to most of the things that you're seeing on my screen, go ahead and get in there. I don't know when their deadline is or when they stop the countdown timer and all of that. I just know that I got an email and I was like, oh, I've been using that. Yeah, I want the paid version for a one-time fee. So I went in and picked it up. So there you go. Let me see. There's one other thing that I do not have access to because I chose not to invest in it just yet. We're going to see if I decide to do that. This is called Search Listener. You get alerts. So let's say that we typed in our starting a business because that's going to be the focus of our coaching and what we talk to women and others about, right? Well, if that's the case, well, you could do a search listening alert where you type in your keyword, create an alert, and what it will do is it will notify you about the different types of questions they're referring to as queries around that specific topic. It will send you regular updates, especially when things start spiking in certain areas of your niche. It's going to send you updates so that you know what's going on at all times. So that's why it's called Search Listener. It's listening for these keywords and for the popularity of these phrases that might be used. So I like the idea of it, but I just don't necessarily think that I need it at this time. That's my honest response on that. We're going to have to see. I want to play with this more and see if I'm going to use it consistently. I do believe that I will because of the topic model. I really appreciated the ability to be able to go in here and to literally pull up this page and to find ideas that I can use for video topics and even see, because there's a page that I need to open up. There it is. That's what I was looking for. So when you go into the YouTube tab, notice this. It shows you popular YouTube videos that are using your search phrase. I love that. Why do I love it? I love it for a couple of reasons. I love it because it's giving me examples, again, of titles and similar titles that I may want to use. And it's also giving me ideas for images that are standing out, because my understanding as a newbie to really building out her YouTube intentionally are that there are three things for YouTube SEO that you want to pay attention to. One being your title, one being tags, and one being thumbnails. So I actually did a reel earlier today about thumbnails. I'm going to get better and better and better at thumbnails so I can teach you how to get better at thumbnails too. So notice that these thumbnails, many of them are standing out because you can clearly see the person's face. You can clearly see the words. They don't look really muddy and cluttered, although this one over here looks a little cluttered and I can barely read that. But just take a look and scan through, and that could potentially give you some ideas on how you want to model your own. Look how that stands out. It's so clear. Model your own titles and thumbnails. How neat is that? So I love that it's giving you ideas. It's a one-stop shop for you to be able to see that. Let's see what happens when we do grouping. Okay, that's more of the grouping and phrases there. Okay, that's something we've already seen before. But yeah, I love that it's giving you some starter points for you to think about. Let's go into Twitter. I just want to see what that looks like. Check this out. So it's even giving you sample tweets that are pulling up as popular tweets about your phrase. We're using the phrase starting a business. Look at this. That is so much information, and it's so clean. It's easy to find this info. Instagram. I don't know so much about that Instagram. That's not cute. I don't see the images, but you can click and go to each of these posts and see what the popular posts are with your phrase. Let's see what Pinterest does. There's just so much here, so I won't go through all of them, but I love that this is all in one place. Looking at TikTok, let's see, LinkedIn. It's pulling in LinkedIn data. If you have Shopify, check this out. My top 5 things you need to know, 16 online business ideas you can start. These are great topics, and they can help seed a topic for you so that you then don't have to sit there scratching your head wondering what are people asking about and what are they looking for. It's already here. It's a part of the report. So I am liking this so far. I can definitely vouch for it and tell you that I love it so far. The one thing, I'll give you my cons, because I promise you that I would always be honest with you and tell you the things that I like and the things that I don't like. What I like is what I've shown you, that it seems to be fairly simple to navigate. I don't feel like I need to go and get my next master's degree in order to understand the information in here. I do also love the idea that it's giving me lots and lots of different potential topics that I can use. I love that it is pulling from Google and merging it all into one place, but not only Google, Twitter, Quora, Reddit, TikTok, all those different locations. I love that it's pulling all of that data together too. What I don't necessarily love as much yet is I don't love the idea that the search engine optimization, that the SEO add-on is an add-on that you have to pay monthly for. But I understand. I'm not saying I love it, but I understand because they have to run a business and we don't want them to go out of business if we're investing our one-time lifetime deal money with them. So I understand that they need to have some form of a regular and consistent income and income through the business. And $15 a month is really not bad, but is it robust enough for the $15 a month? I don't know. It depends on what enough means for you. There's two things that I'm usually looking for when it comes to search engine optimization for these different phrases when it comes to video. One is I'm looking for how difficult will it be for me to rank. And then two, I'm looking to see how competitive it is. Like, are there a lot of people that are competing for the same phrase? And is it even possible that I can somehow slide in there using that phrase to get my videos seen? TubeBuddy does an excellent job if you're specifically focused on video. I think TubeBuddy and vidIQ also have some really good keyword search functionality. I just liked the deal with this whole topic mojo, because not only do you use it necessarily for video topics, but I also think you can use this for creating, if you're doing a written blog. I think you can use it for your blog. I think you can use it for other ideas, for podcast episodes, for coming up with articles, for coming up with presentations and workshops, because again, it's still the same premise as some of the other tools in that it's about finding out what people are already seeking. What are they already asking about in the field that you play? So instead of you guessing, and especially if you're new and you don't have an audience or a community yet, you can actually see what's trending. That I do. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. And I especially like it for the price point that they have it for now. So if you've got questions, go ahead and pop those into the chat because I'm looking for those. Yes. And I see that we've got someone here. Balance of Beauty says she had it and she refunded it, couldn't get it to work for some of the searches she used. I'm curious, like, what were some of the searches that you used? Share if you can in the chat because I'm curious about that. And right now it's working for me. I will tell you, the phrases that I used were, and that's again why I think you need to try the free version. So you just saw an example of why, because Balance of Beauty from YouTube just wrote that you used coloring books. Let me pop that up here. So coloring books did not come back with good data for you. Okay. That's helpful to know. So here's what I would encourage you to do based on that, and just given any type of app, you want to do a trial run and see. Now, there is a money back guarantee, even if you do the LTD. I think there's a 7-day period of refunding for the LTD, the lifetime deal. So there's two things you can do. One is you can go and just get the free account and see if free is going to be enough for you, because it might be just sufficient for you with all the other things and tools that you're using. If nothing else, what I do love is that tree that shows you those phrases and the questions. But I've been able to find really good data on Facebook live streaming, how to live stream, the spaces that I play in. I've been able to find some good information in articles and topics. You want to test out your niche, your phrases, your topics, and see what works. If you try the free and you're like, yeah, you know what, I can see this, let me go ahead and invest the $59. Check it out, do the trial, make sure you watch your date, because nobody's going to send you a reminder and say, hey, you're almost at 7 days. Do you want a refund? Nobody's doing that ever. So make sure you refund it if you find that it does not work for you. But it's working for me at this time. I'm about 3 days in and I'm finding it to be useful, especially because I'm in this really huge content creation focus mode. And so it's been really useful for me to go in and to check out the difficulty of being able to compete for keywords. It's given me some ideas on topics that I want to cover. It's given me an understanding of what people are asking for in those spaces like Quora and Reddit, which are two of the spaces that I typically do try to mine anyway. So I like having it all in that one space, but you need to see what works for you. Okay, I'm checking for questions to see if anybody has questions on this. I say it's one that is potentially a win, but you need to check it for yourself and see if this might be helpful. The other two, if you don't use this, I would suggest checking out vidIQ and also TubeBuddy. And if you need an affiliate link, especially for those of you who are in my community, I do have them. Of course, you can reach out and I'll make sure to share that with you too. Okay? Awesome sauce. That's what I got for you tonight. I hope that you were able to learn something and to get some information that will be of use to you. I'm checking. vidIQ is fantastic. Balance of Beauty said yes. I do love vidIQ. I think that when it comes to between the two of them, TubeBuddy and vidIQ, aesthetics matter to me. I do like how things look. If it looks like it's easy, if it looks like it has a lot of information. One of the things I like about vidIQ is that they have some really good training that comes with the actual app, and they have a lot of different types of features. TubeBuddy, however, is also a very excellent tool and can give you a lot for a lesser price. So you want to check into both of those. You are so welcome, Tish. I'm so glad that you had a chance to be able to come in. For those of you who are watching the replay, just type in hashtag replay. And then if you have a question or comment, leave that for me because I want to make sure to come back and scan through and acknowledge you as well. I appreciate you as always coming and watching and hanging out. You're so welcome, Balance of Beauty. It's good to see you here. Thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions at all on this tool or even some other things related to getting your videos moving, holler, because we're all learning together, we're growing together. And again, I absolutely love sharing what I'm learning as it relates to women who are coaches, course creators, and consultants. And if you're trying to learn how to do more streaming so that you can serve more people, stand out online, and sell more of your services, you are in the right place. I hope you will come back and take a look, like, follow, and subscribe. And definitely make sure that you share with a friend if you found something of value. Okay? You can find my website over at getnoticedwithvideo.com for more information about me and all that we do. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening, and I will see you in the next stream. Take care.